Hi there, I'm Robin Newman and I'm from Here, which is Snug Recording Company. And this video I wanted to put together because I've been thinking a lot lately about trying to get people to think about pre-production for their recording sessions and how they can better prepare for being in the studio in order to just save some time and make the most of the time that they have in the session. So with that in mind, I have Sarai here. Sarai is a vocal coach, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what you do, but specifically how it can be of use to people to get the most out of their recording sessions and things. I know that with dealing with a lot of different artists, some people will take very well and naturally to vocal coaching and things because they want to improve, or they recognise there's certain things they're not comfortable with. But for some people, I think that there's a bit of a difficulty around suggesting vocal coaching and stuff.
If someone suggests vocal coaching to somebody who is into singing or stuff like that, they can sometimes get offended and think, "Oh, what are you saying? You're saying that I can't sing?"
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of the time maybe they're trying to say the opposite, which is, you're so good, you should improve. You've got the skills that you could progress and take it even further.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think you need to firstly kind of have that mindset of, actually, this isn't necessarily a negative thing. It's something that could really benefit me and really kind of take my craft to the next level.
We all want to believe that there's this innate talent in all of us that just comes out naturally and all this. But actually, everyone who is of a high performance standard generally has a little help along the way. And
absolutely. I think no matter how good you are, you've still got to invest time and energy into practice and honing your skill and making it perfect. If you want to get the result, you've got to put the work and the love into it.
Yeah. I know that from our point of view of working with vocalists, everyone is completely different, and everyone needs has different issues and things like that.
Yeah.
How do you kind of approach working with someone new who you've not worked with before?
Well, firstly, I'll talk to them about a few standard sort of foundation level things, kind of like your posture and your breathing and what kind of thing you want to do. And then I'd like to get to know somebody a little bit, so I can sort of listen to their voice, listen to their project, and assess what kind of thing they may need to help them make it better. And then once you're on that level, you can go even further. But in a short session, that's what I'd be looking to do.
So you need to get those fundamentals down first.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess, that probably is a massive help to a lot of people if they've never even looked at things like posture and breathing and, that kind of control before, then even those basics can make a massive difference to them.
Absolutely.
It's something that we try and work through with people here in the studio. Sometimes that can be around the psychology of singing and things, and trying to get people out of worrying about feeling self-conscious and things like that, which is something that, again, I think that vocal coaching would really help with.
Absolutely. Things that are scary are usually because there's an element of unknown to it or not quite sure about something. So if you go somewhere and you learn a skill and then you go back into that studio environment, you know what you're doing.
You can take that confidence with you.
In terms of warming up, you want to think of it like if you were about to go and run a marathon or and do a sprint. If you are sat still for the whole of your day and then you just go, right, I'm going now, and go mental with your body.
If you're sat at the back of a studio, maybe just having multiple cups of coffee, eating chocolate all day, waiting for all the guitarists to finish their takes, for instance.
So at that moment, you then want to run up and, start blasting out, especially if you're doing like power singing or anything like that, then, there is that potential that you could hurt yourself. So what you want to do with any warm-up is really start off nice and gently and make it progressive. My biggest, most important tip for singing ever is, if something hurts you, don't do it.
Right,
really, you've got to listen to your body, and if your body's saying ow, then you really should perhaps not be doing it. So be careful.
From our point of view, we sometimes hit these kind of points with singers where and there is absolutely no shame in just sort of saying, right, your voice is not in the place to do this today.
Yeah.
We need, we can just put a pin in it for now. You can book in again when you're like over your cold or whatever's going on.
Better,
we don't want to pressure someone into doing something that's going to damage their voice, and it's just not going to get the vocal takes that we want. We want everything to be as good as it can be. We don't want you to hurt yourself and then not be able to perform the rest of the songs on your EP or something like that. It's not in our interest. So we always try and encourage people to recognise when maybe they're not feeling quite on top of things. And that can be, physically, it can be mentally as well. If you're feeling anxious and you're not feeling sure about something, by all means, we can come back to it. Because that's one of the things that I think that vocal coaching helps people with so much, is taking some of that pressure off.
Yeah.
Having someone else who's there to be a support to you in a studio session or something like that.
Yeah. Something I like to say to my students is, if something feels good, it usually means it sounds good as well. There's like a definite link between those things. So similarly, if it's not feeling okay, it's probably not going to sound the greatest. So that might be an area where you need to, have a closer look at what's going on there.
Okay, so to think about the kind of things that people might want to get out of vocal coaching. What are some of the things that your students come to you and say, these are the things that I want to achieve and stuff like that? Like what's kind of attainable?
I think breathing technique is a really, really important one for me. And a lot of the time it's knowing where to breathe in a song and making sure that you're using your breath to its fullest. Because you can overbreathe as well as underbreathe. So it is kind of tricky. You've got to be careful. But yeah, breathing technique is a really good one that, once people kind of get it, they're like, oh yeah, I can see now. If I take that breath there, then this bit's going to sound way better. Or if I don't breathe until the end of that, then I've got enough breath to do this next bit. Something a lot of people can get out of singing lessons is they can increase their range.
Right, yeah. So we're talking about pitch range, aren't we?
Yeah, that's right. So, and at the top end and the bottom end, you will have this sort of selection of notes that will be singable, but they might not be the best quality.
Right, yeah.
So I think vocal training can definitely improve the quality of the sort of edges of your range, and possibly increase it. So I've been singing in some sort of professional capacity since I was about 14 now. So yeah, it's been a while. But I still have vocal lessons now. And I just think that's hugely important, to keep on top of my craft and what I'm doing. Yeah. A lot of people have started having lessons with me and they've come with this sort of preconception of what's going to happen. Right. And within a few weeks, they're just like, there is so much to learn. It's crazy.
Yeah. For a lot of people that we deal with here, like especially people that are singers in bands, stuff like that, perhaps the only times that they really sing are at band practices or something.
Yeah.
Where you're potentially in a rehearsal room where everything's really loud. You've maybe got like a PA that doesn't quite get over the drummer and, everything else. You're having to really go for it. Like actually spending some time with someone else, analysing your voice, analysing your singing, might be the first time that you've actually looked at your vocal performance in that way.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen in the recording studio. Yeah. Is it not better to maybe have that sort of process start before you're in the booth?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's one of the scariest things to do.
Yeah.
With your voice, it's so personal. It's you. It's the very essence of you. If you play the guitar and you make a wrong note, you can always say, "Oh, well, my string broke."
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can't. When it's your voice, that's it. It's all you, and it's deeply personal. And a lot of us can feel very precious about it and stuff. And it's really hard to go somewhere and go, look at the deepest inside of me,
pick it apart
and
now.
Tell me what's wrong with it or what I need to do. So it's a really big step to take that leap and say, no, I'm going to have voice lessons. I'm going to get into it. It's a massive step. But once you do that and get over that hurdle, the benefits of it are just endless. And specifically in a studio setting, you're talking about a lot of money as well, that people are spending. If you've come to the studio and you're not prepared or you haven't, like you say, overcome certain things, when you get here, you're not going to make the best of your session.
A lot of people kind of have this idea of that you can fix bad vocals in the studio and things like that. It's like you can tune them, you know, but there's no replacement for good technique. There's no replacement for a great performance. We can tweak things, we can solidify things, and we can, you know, really like nail timing a little bit more with editing and stuff. You know, that's not uncommon with a lot of modern pop production.
No.
But there's no replacement for, you know, and it will take us longer. If we've got, you know, 3 really good solid takes, then when it comes to compiling an edited vocal of all the best bits, you know, getting rid of any little bits that you're sort of unhappy with, and you go, oh, maybe I was a little bit weak on that note, or maybe that's a bit pitchy or whatever. If we've got more good stuff to pick from, then that's a really easy process for us, and you know, and it's a really rewarding process. And I think that, you know, like you were saying before about the vocals being a very personal thing, they're also the personality of the song. You know, they're where the emotion really comes from in a lot of cases.
A lot of people have this idea of tone deafness as well. Everyone throws this phrase around where we go, oh, I can't sing, I'm tone deaf or whatever. And being tone deaf is actually a really quite serious health issue. And it's not something that, you know, the guy down the pub who's humming along to Robbie Williams, you know, and singing off key, he's not tone deaf. He's just not got correct technique, and with lessons he could more than likely get to be, you know, doing the right thing.
Hum along with that Robbie Williams track
and do it properly.
Achieve his dreams.
One of my biggest tips for studio recording is, if you have a song that you're about to record in the studio, treat that song as if you're about to perform it live.
Right.
You want it that good. You want to have it in a place where you know all the words, you know all the pieces you want to put into it, all the little ad-libs and stuff you want to do at the end. Kind of get it together as if you were about to go out and perform it on a stage. Because at the end of the day, a studio recording, it is a performance.
Yeah.
You're performing, but you're in the studio. And it's a crucial performance because it's going to get listened to again. So you've got to put that work in, got to put that practice in, make it as good as you can get it, and then go and do your recording. Right. Once you get in the studio, there are things that are different that we have to look at. You know, noises that we might make with our body or our clothes and things like that. We have to kind of look out for.
A few vocalists who are real stompers. Like they have to really keep time by really stomping on the ground. It's sort of like, I need to get a rubber mat under this person.
Trampoline. I don't know.
It's actually something that we've come across before when we're working with singers who are so used to performing live, and especially rock singers, where they feel really uncomfortable not holding the microphone.
Definitely.
So we have some microphones here that are very low handling noise, where sometimes if someone's more comfortable holding their microphone and varying the distance from their mouth and things like that, because they're so used to doing that for their live performance, it's actually become part of their sound.
Yeah.
So we have to be quite sympathetic to those kind of differences. You know?
So every singer out there is an individual and have to be treated as such. Yeah. And if you get a good vocal coach and a wonderful studio, then they will help you to achieve the goals that you want to achieve by tailoring everything towards your specific needs.
Yeah, and I think that leads into one of the main benefits that I think I've seen with people that have had help with their voice, that have taken the time to really work on their performances, confidence, and just a sort of there are a lot of kind of well-being sort of aspects to singing.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. I mean, we've all read, singing releases endorphins, and it really does. It makes you feel good. So, you know, if you aren't having the best day and you're like, I've got the studio later, I always find, you know, you go out, you do a nice warm-up, you go through your stuff, and before you even get there, you're going to start feeling amazing and be like, no, I'm all right now, I'm doing okay. And imagine
studio
that.
Could be the highlight of the day rather than the thing that you're dreading having to go in and do. Yeah.
And imagine having that in a capacity where you're rehearsing 2-3 times a week and having all that feel-good, you know, stuff going on for you. Yeah. Also, it's a bit of you time as well as an individual. We all know how important that is, to look after yourself and to put time into what you want to do, and, you know, just going for lessons. It's something for you. It's personal. It's yours. you know, you're the boss.
Yeah.
And it's just a lovely feeling to go somewhere and just really focus on yourself and something that you love to do.
Yeah, I'm going to round up really. I mean, all that we're going to round up really is to say, yeah, vocal coaching is great. But that's quite an obvious thing to say. But I think it is really important. And I think from our point of view, for people that want to get the most out of working in the studio, the most out of their songs, and be able to feel comfortable and happy with their vocal performance, I think it's a really important thing that we can offer. So if you want to do a session and you want to work with Sarai, and you want to maybe have a session where you can diagnose what the problems with your voice might be, how you can overcome them, how you can get a bit more confident, and hopefully how you can save time actually in the studio doing your takes, then speak to us about it. When you want to book a session, just say, actually, I want to do some pre-production here.
Nobody's telling you can't do the thing you want to do. Yeah. What we're saying is we want you to get the best out of yourself, and be the best version of your superstar, rock star self that you can possibly be.
Yeah, I think that being able to concentrate on your performance rather than simply being able to do it, being able to do that bare minimum, that should be, the bit that you don't have to worry about at all. You should be worrying about kind of like, am I getting the emotion of these lyrics over? Am I performing am I doing something exciting? Am I doing something that's going to make people listen?
Yeah, and if your technique is good, then you can go on to, have those intricacies that are going to make it a really special performance.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for watching. Thanks very much, Sarai, for coming down and having a chat with me. And goodbye. That's the best goodbye I've ever done.